Hey, welcome to the Database Lab, where today's workshop will be a beginning intro to D3. So the first thing that we need to do is go to the GT Library Data Visualization GitHub page, and there you'll have access to our D3 intro workshop. And in this intro workshop, you're going to learn things about basic D3 functions, manipulating SVGs, and by the end of this workshop, we'll have a working line graph at the end of it. So we'll take you through the entire steps on how to go about doing that and how to basically use the really foundations of D3. So to go ahead and get started, let's click on the D3 Intro Workshop folder. And then once we have that, we're going to see that the steps are listed 1 through 13, and we're going to start the first step, which will be our intro to HTML. So D3 uses JavaScript and HTML because D3 is a JavaScript library and it needs to manipulate the DOM objects in HTML, and DOM is basically the document object model that controls the different elements that you see on a web page. So this is our index.html file, and we're going to head and copy and paste this, and you're going to save this as a file in your text editor. So what I'm doing here is I'm opening up Sublime, and I'm just copying everything in that GitHub page here, and I'm going to save this to my desktop. I'm going to call it index.html. And you can go ahead and make a new folder for it. So in my desktop, I'm making a new folder called D3 Basics. Create. And we're going to save that index.html file here. So the first thing that we want to do, is to see if it's working. So you go to your desktop, wherever you saved it, so D3 Basics right here, and then you click on index.html. And what will pop up is an alert from this page, Hello World. So we know that it works. And then I'll show Hello World 1. So now let's go into the specifics of the HTML document, because in order to understand D3, first we got to make sure there's a foundation of HTML. And so the HTML document follows a very specific template. First, you need doc type HTML to be recognized by certain browsers, and then you're gonna have to open up with the HTML tag here. So when you open a tag, that just means you have this sign in HTML in between, and then you close it with the greater than sign. And then to close it, you add a slash before it. And then the first thing you need is a head, and head will basically, that's where you put all the additional libraries and stuff, as well as the title, and you can also include style in there. So the title of the page is Hello World, and this is reflected on the tab page, so it says Hello World, so we could change it to something like D3 Workshop, just so you know that it works. And then you'll see D3 Workshop is changed on the tab. And then the next part is the style, and styles used to change the colors, the fonts, just really anything that's aesthetic wise to the HTML page. So we said the font size is 20 and the color is blue, so we could change the color to red, and it'll be reflected in the HTML page here. And then beyond the head, we have the body. So each of the things are elements. We got the head element here, we got the body element here, and within the body element is where the meat of your HTML page is going to be. So let's talk about the paragraph tag right here before we get to the JavaScript. The paragraph tag is where you include all your words and stuff. So if you have a visualization and you want to describe it, you can throw in some paragraph tags there to go and describe it. So we wrote Hello World 1, but we can just write something else just to show that it changes. Intro to D3 Basics at Georgia Tech. And then we'll see this reflected again here, and it's going to be red. And the next thing we can talk about is the JavaScript here. So it's because D3 is a JavaScript library, this is where all the D3 code is going to go. And while this is not D3, this is just basic JavaScript to show that it's linked into. And the way you start that off is you open a script tag right here, and then you say the type is JavaScript. And then within it, we have an alert. An alert is basically just a pop-up, a really basic pop-up, and we said hello world. And then you close the script tag in the body again. So by the end of it, once you run this, you're going to get a pop-up every time it shows up, just like we've shown before. So at the end of this workshop, we haven't done anything D3-wise, but we have shown some basic HTML. We've shown the styling of it as well as the integration with JavaScript and the use of like different elements like the p tag. And this is really important because when you move on to D3, we're going to see the use of other elements like SVGs, scalable vector graphics, that D3 uses to manipulate. And these scalable vector graphics are the building blocks. They could be like shapes, they could be lines, and that's how you get the visualizations that you'll see in the next steps. So thank you. This is D3 Intro Workshop at Georgia Tech.